Hello and welcome to another episode of the Teaching of Isaac. This is episode 20. Now, there's still some characters I still have not randomed. Luck of the draw. I've gone this far, so I don't want to deviate from what I've been doing. But either way, for this next episode, I am Azazel. This is what I like to use the Fool card for. I just teleport straight out of the curse room and save myself from taking the damage. Because when you fly in, it doesn't deal any damage if you have flight. It does deal damage when you fly out, however. Now, I don't know why the rules are like that, but either way, that's how it is. Not a bad item to start off with, because Azazel has great stats. Especially since he has this little mini brimstone, so things that give utility, like the tar here, which slows enemies down as they walk over the creep, it's pretty beneficial. Especially since I have to get in people's faces in order to hit them. That room right there, this would have taken a long time, probably like a minute just to kill them all. But thanks to Azazel's brimstone there, just makes short work of them. Generally, when I play this character, just for fun, I pretty much always go after the boss rush. Now, this is a little bit different because, obviously, when I'm trying to explain how to do things in this game, it's going to slow me down naturally, since I need extra time to explain things. However, I can still make it, just might not happen every time. But the best strategy for Azazel, the very first move is probably the most important move. Always have your brimstone charged and ready to go right before entering the next room. By the way, you may have noticed that penny had a green shimmer on it. That means it's a lucky penny. Okay, so here's the haunt. Normally I'd explain in detail on how to beat him, but Azazel, it's a totally different strategy, so you can just watch. But every 3 seconds, you are no longer safe. So regardless of what character you are, after 3 seconds after an attack, wait for the next attack to happen before getting in his face. And don't go to the sides, otherwise he bounces around like crazy. I tried to show it, there we go. Yeah, that's why you don't do that. Normally not a fan of Mom's Pearls, but Azazel really needs range. Now before I move on to the next level, let's see if I can find the secret room. I do have 4 bombs, so at least I have a pretty good shot. Although level 1 is hard to find secret rooms. And secret rooms, they're usually in the little C section that you see there, is a little pocket. And I'm right. Great, I got the golden bomb. So now I can easily find the super secret room as well. I was hoping to get a nickel out of that guy, but to show you another trick, if you happen to have excess bombs, you could blow up this machine, and it gives you money sometimes. Takes a lot of bombs, though. Great. Now that I have 5 coins, this means that the next level has a chance of having an arcade. The second level of every single floor has a chance of getting an arcade, as long as you have 5 coins when you start. Now I'm going to search for the super secret room. It's usually towards the very end. Not all the time, though, especially on level 1, which I mentioned breaks the rules. You may have noticed I was slowing down. That's because I was trying to hug the wall and move slowly until the camera shifts. Once the camera shifts, that's how you know where to place the bomb. And that's it. I've explored everything I possibly can. 4 minutes in. A little slower than I would like for the boss rush, but I'm not going to worry too much about it. I almost always go in cursed rooms when I have flight, since you take half the damage. So Pentagram gives you bonus damage. I believe it also raises your chance of a devil deal. And the mysterious paper, it triggers when you are at half a heart or less when you get damaged. And it has a 50% chance of doing the Polaroid effect, which makes you immortal for a few seconds, or the negative effect, which damages everyone in the room. So it's only useful if you have half a heart or less. So otherwise, it just kind of fills up the spot and doesn't really do much. Well, how appropriate. I got the ball of tar, now I got little Gish. My life is complete. May as well create a Gish transformation now. Now, if you're just starting out or you're not that experienced with Azazel, take your time. You don't have to rush like I am. I'm just rushing because there is a chance I could be able to do the boss rush. And speaking of rushing, I just ran to that fire. I blame Curse of the Darkness. One key for 2 bombs? I already have plenty of bombs, so I don't like that trade-off. You see how the very first charge, though, it just destroys everything. That's why it's nice to be able to kill the enemies before they actually have a chance to hurt you. Well, I was hoping for a Tinted Rock or an HP up of some type, because I won't be able to afford a Devil Deal if it happens. I mean, it's going to happen. I will get a Devil Deal, but the question is, will there be something to steal? Shot speed, that's a shame. That's not going to help me at all. And no deal. Maybe it's for the best, but I'm hoping to get Soul Hearts, maybe? Okay, well, I like guppy items. That converts a regular heart into 3 Soul Hearts. And the Joker card, great. So now I have another opportunity to get a Devil Deal. I want to open that, but I need to also save my keys for the treasure room next floor. I recommend not going to the next floor unless you want to make sure you have at least 1 key before you go to the next floor. Alright, Curse of the Blind. So I am not going to use the Joker card on this floor even if I don't get a deal. So I won't know what deal's there. Look at that, Gish is helping. Azazel especially important. It's especially important for him to go after the portals really quickly, since it's pretty easy to get overwhelmed. Although I guess that would apply to other characters, but the difference is with the other characters sometimes there isn't enough time to actually take out the portal. Sometimes you just have to fight off what they spawn. But Azazel doesn't care, since his Brimstone can attack multiple enemies and you can go straight for the portal using flight. Just like that. You normally wouldn't be able to go around the side like I am. Gotta be careful with those portals though, because they can spawn boom flies. So that means right when you start attacking the portal, it could spawn a boom fly, and then because of your short range, it blows up in your face immediately. There's all these sacrifice rooms here, but no way, I'm not gonna do that. I don't have enough health. Yeah, you saw that exploder there, same thing. You want to keep maximum distance, but still hit your foe. Same thing with this guy. I got 15 bombs. Let's see what happens. Alright. Normally I'd be afraid of picking up the Cursed Eye, but it doesn't work with Azazel. Compost, so it turns pickups into flies. I guess it's actually technically more useful than Guppy's Paw at the moment. We'll see, I might hang on to it. Because I can't even utilize hearts right now. And you saw I was just moving well beyond faster than they could actually target me. What do we got? Crooked Penny, it doubles the items that are in the room, including treasure items potentially. The problem is there's a half chance it also just eliminates it and gives you a coin. But here's my favorite part of using the Crooked Penny. This. So there was no risk there for me. I just used it and I didn't have to worry about spending money on the shop. Now unfortunately I got unlucky and it didn't let me steal everything or double everything. But that's my favorite usage of the Crooked Penny. I guess the other one would be like using it on a chest, but I don't want to spin my keys. So this is rather disappointing so far. I'm just going to really quickly use the compost just to show you how it works. Oh, it's in the other room. Although I am a little bit short on time. In fact, I'm very short on time for the boss rush. So I'm going to make a beeline for the Crooked Penny. And I'm going to just head for the boss. Now, I think the Crooked Penny also works on Devil Deals. The problem is it's an item that I don't get very often, and I have trouble remembering that. But maybe we'll see what happens if I get Devil Deal here. Speaking of Devil Deal, this is the Fallen. He always drops a Devil item as your item, which is pretty cool, because you usually only get that in Devil rooms. But as you can see, Azazel makes short work of him. Alright, there's Dark Matter, very helpful. And I could use the Crooked Penny right now and gamble. You know what? Who knows what I could have lost there. So I'm choosing to blow up the angel here. I could potentially get a... well, I could get 2 keys, and that means I could fight Mega Satan if I wanted. But the only downside is it means that from now on, your Devil Deals have a much higher chance of being an Angel Deal instead. That could be good or bad. The item pool for Devil Room is better in my opinion, but there are some crazy items in the Angel Room sometimes. Alright, well I'm going to have to be pretty quick for the boss rush. The problem is, I feel like I haven't gotten the greatest items for the boss rush. I mean, I got a shot speed up, got a luck up, a range up. Range ups help, of course, but I need tiers. I need to be able to charge up my move more often. I also need a lot of health, and I haven't gotten any yet. Oh, thanks. We'll see. I'll just continue to play at a more rapid pace here, and we'll see what happens. Before I move on, though, I do want to find the treasure room. Plus, I can use the Crooked Penny in the shop. It's a shame, though, that I lost that Angel Deal. That could have... Who knows what that was? I could have deleted Godhead for all I know. Well, I pretty much just flipped the equivalent of heads 3 times in a row. Blank Rune can potentially be a Perthrow, which would re-roll an item. So I'm going to hang on to it in case I'm not a fan of whatever Gertie gives me. Every time Gertie's about to move, it's a very consistent pattern, so I kind of know when to dodge. You can kind of see Gertie charging up really fast. So just keep changing sides every time that happens. Alright, I'll take an HP up. That was a mistake. I forgot I have an Angel Rune potentially with the Joker. I didn't have to waste that Blink Rune. I'll take it. I need HP ups, obviously. When the arms cross, that means it's going to either shoot bullets, summon, or laser beams in the corners. Just assume there's laser beams in the corners. That's the safest bet, because you can react to the bullets. I'm trying to fight this boss while I dodge the chest. I don't really have the keys for this. Alright, well, good news is I get to fight Mega Satan if I choose. Bad news is I'm running out of time for the actual boss rush. I don't think I'm going to make it. But here's the thing. What I normally would do if I really want to get the boss rush is I would just skip the treasure room. I feel like I'm not in a position to do that, however. Not cool. You have to assume there's going to be a troll bomb. There almost always is. Or spiders. Either way, don't get complacent when you're in the cursed room. Now that room, I was pretty much guaranteed to get hit. There were guys everywhere. You have to be in close range in order to kill them with Azazel. So that was really nasty. But thankfully, he starts with a bunch of dark hearts. Alright, I finally made it. I'll take it. It helps. So the Rotten Baby will shoot flies every so often. But your flies are based upon your damage stat. So it can be really helpful. So even if you have a slow amount of tears, the Rotten Baby doesn't care. And in case you haven't figured out, the prayer card that I picked up, every time you use it, it gives you half an Eternal Heart. So if you have batteries on the field, you can really take advantage of it. Now, can I blow up 2 of these? No, I can't. Well, I could put it right here. I could have done that. Oh, the little Gish actually shot my bomb out of the way. But I have so many bombs that I don't care. So that was a... I think that was a good move there. Because that was a... I was pretty low on health overall. Sure, the prayer card's going to help me out here. But I want as many soul hearts as I can. Now I got 5 minutes to find the exit. Well, not only find the exit, but I also need to defeat Mom in time. Now, I'm not a fan of using pills when Mom is there, because it could be teleport, and that means I won't get to pick up the Polaroid. That also means I would skip the boss rush. Because there's a slight chance, very small, but if you happen to use a teleport pill, then you might teleport to the Aymara room. And those rainbow poops there, it's only relevant if you need to heal. And I have full health right now. Now, what happened? I can see the entire map. I don't remember having that option. Does the rainbow poop reveal the map? I don't know, but that's great. So thanks to me being able to see the map, I might make it, the boss rush. I'm still not very pleased with my stats, however. But we'll just see what happens. Maybe I'll get some good treasure items. Or I have one chance at a treasure item that's good. So that right there, that black feather, it's dependent on how many Devil Deal items you have. Some of them can give you bonus damage when you have that black trinket, but only some of them. And I haven't even taken any Devil Deals, so it's not going to be of any use to me. Got to be really careful here as well, because these things turn into boom flies and they explode in your face. But thankfully my familiars made short work of them. Ugh, gosh. All these activatable items is not going to help me. So that's a single charge item, and it allows me to stop bullets in midair. But I have the prayer card, so I can't take it. I mean, I can, but I'd rather take the prayer card. So right now it's my only source of hit points, pretty much. Oh, I didn't even see him till it's too late. Alright, I got all this money. Hopefully it's not greed. Ah, son of a... Alright, well I gotta make a beeline for the exit now. In fact, I've taken way too much time. I don't anticipate making it. But I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. If the room's gonna be really time consuming, then I'm just gonna bomb my way out. Unfortunately, I can't bomb my way out of a room that's attached to the boss. And this is gonna be quite time consuming. Now, if a devil deal pops up, I'm going to have to make an exit to the boss instead. There's no time. Brownie, you're going to have to get hit unless your range is amazing with Azazel. Now, 1 more minute. Come on, poops. Get out of here. I think I'm going to make it. Really close, though. If I go in the devil room, it might be Krampus, and he's going to slow me down even more. I don't know if I'm going to do that. Well, I think I can make it. I think I can make it. So I'm thinking here. I'm pausing for a moment since the clock is ticking. Now, it looks like I do have time to go to the boss rush and the devil room, it appears. Now, I do have the key from Mega Satan, therefore I want to make this as easy on me as possible. So I'm going to end up taking the Polaroid. That way I can head straight for the chest, which will give me 4 items for free right before Mega Satan. So with that in mind, here I go. Polaroid, deal, great deals, I'm taking them both. I'm doing that because of the fact that I have the prayer card. I'm going to blow this tinted rock up. It's just a chest. No. Okay, I made it. Daddy Longlegs, absolutely. So he's going to come crushing down my foes. So yeah, as you can see, it's pretty hard to get to the boss rush on time. Even with Azazel, it's a little bit of a challenge. I mean, you got to still book it. The best option to get to here in time, really, is to explore less rooms. And sometimes you may have to make a sacrifice. You may have to skip treasure rooms. I actually took the time to go to all of them, and that's why it was so close. Well, part of the reason why it's so close. The other part was I gotta obviously take extra time to explain things. And it slows me down. Now, I'm not going to sit here and explain every single boss as they pop out. I mean, I might give advice here and there, but the boss rush is almost like your final exam. You have to take all the knowledge you have of fighting all the bosses and utilize that and destroy them. Alternatively, if you have no knowledge of the bosses really, or little knowledge, just by having a crazy build, that could be enough. Because there's some assortments and combination of items that require little to no skill. That's a little bit dangerous with my short range. Exactly. Exactly. I probably should have just let Daddy Longlegs take care of him. Too late for that, though. By the way, another reason why I took those devil deals, they were both pretty good. Lord of the Pit gives you flight. I obviously have flight already. However, it does give you a lot of speed. And the more speed I have, the more likely I'll be able to dodge enemies, especially when I get in their face. And I have no choice but to get in their face. Now, if you notice there, I was waiting for the those exploding poop to get out of the way. If you kill it, it explodes in multiple directions, and you're going to get hit. Speaking of multiple directions, little Steven and Steve there, they also explode in multiple directions when you kill them. Learning what monsters explode and which ones don't explode can definitely make an impact when playing, well, any character, whether it's Azazel or a regular character, really. But the easiest thing to remember, I'd say, when it comes to exploding enemies are the light blue champions. They're one of the deadlier champions just because they do explode and deal a full heart of damage. Something you gotta watch out for. I'm gonna take out Widow first. A little more dangerous, I think. You may notice that as I blast him with the brimstone, I'm trying to get out of the way as soon as possible. You also may notice that during this boss rush that every time you clear out a wave, your item gets charged. That can be really beneficial depending on what item you have. So like if you have an item that has a small amount of charges, you'll be using it all the time. Now, my health is not great. I'm going to survive the boss rush, no problem. But usually after the boss rush, I like to go for Hush, which I don't think I've done on this series yet. Problem is, Hush, you need to have distance, as in range, and you need to have orbitals. You can survive without them, but then you need a lot of health. Either way, I don't really have the necessary components right now to survive Hush. Book of Shadows gives you temporary invincibility, but I need health desperately. I want it, but I gotta keep the prayer card. My troll bomb was left over from before. Well, I'm gonna at least try Mega Satan, but Hush is not looking like an option at the moment. Way too dangerous. But things change very quick in this game. Now, to get to Hush, you have to get to Mom's Heart / It Lives within 30 minutes. That pill right there is Curse the Maze. I wanted to use it immediately because I wanted to kind of rush to the end. Because I didn't want to have to go back for that pill later. But too late for that. I'll take strength, sure. That'll give me an HP up for the room, and it'll boost my stats. It'll also give me a little more range also. So that could be helpful for Mega Satan, or if I end up doing Hush, it'll help for that as well. But like I said, I don't anticipate doing Hush at this point unless there's an amazing deal that will carry me through him. You may have also noticed during that room there, I chose not to attack some of the enemies. You don't have to just outright kill everything, because if I were to attack them as fast as I could, I would have got hit by the explosions there. So you gotta be a little strategic sometimes on what you kill. Same thing goes for exploding enemies, like I referred to earlier. Unfortunately for the womb, for those of you that don't know, you take a full heart of damage when you get hit. Another reason why I don't want to fight Hush right now. That right there is the tonsil. You have to get damaged a ton of times before it actually occurs. And when it does occur, it's just a tonsil that follows you. And it does block shots occasionally, but I'm going to have to get hit so much for that to actually work.
Judgment.
I'm low on time for Hush, but I also would like to know... I mean, I want to get loot here. The mysterious paper isn't helpful anymore, since I have to have half a heart or less, and I have tons of hearts. So I'm taking the doorstop. That allows me to escape the room instead of continuing on. Like, you can actually backtrack. I should have backtracked out of that previous room there. Certain rooms kind of look like they have a secret room. That's why I knew there was one right there. And I'm blowing up the shopkeeper. That way I have a slight chance up for a devil deal. But it looks like I'm not even going to make it to Hush in time, so I won't really have to make a tough choice. I mean, I ended up exploring the entire womb pretty much, trying to get there. This is like Daddy Longlegs' weird cousin. Either way, he's toast. Death's List, sure. You kill the enemies in a specific order, and then you get a reward. The reward may be a drop of an item, or it could be a stat up. It's pretty powerful, but not so powerful late game since you have less opportunities to get stat ups. And now it's Curse the Lost. It could be even harder for me to figure out how to get to the boss. I'm still not feeling comfortable fighting Hush in this scenario. But I'm going to try. I'm going to try to get there. Who knows? Maybe there's another deal that's amazing. We will see. See, there's a skull. It's best if I kill that first, the other skull second, and the other skull third. And I got a pickup as a reward. Even if you're not trying to kill them in order, it happens naturally sometimes. So that's another reason why Death's List is great. Or it could even be in a room without any monsters. Let's say, for example, you walk in a room that has a button that you have to push. Sometimes it's all you need to get the bonus from Death's List. Yeah, you saw that crazy pattern there? That's what they do underground. And you can only see that if you do things like Death's List to reveal them. Wow, not lucky. Looks like it wasn't meant to be with Hush. Well, I may as well take a little more time now and try to focus on killing these guys in order. But now I have so much health, but nothing to really use it with. And when you stand in the pits, you know they can't reach you there. So it's good to take advantage of the terrain. So here's the thing, I could start donating blood and therefore get a chance for a blood bag, which will give me an HP up and it'll also give me extra speed, and obviously speed is always good. However, due to the fact that stabbing myself will deal a full heart of damage, it's not really going to be worth it right now, and I already have a lot of speed anyway. So I'm gambling on the slot machine right now in hopes of getting Pretty Fly. That'll give me some orbitals. Because after all, although I've missed my chance for Hush, I still have the complete key. So this means I get to at least fight Mega Satan. And potentially it also means I get to fight Delirium. Whenever you kill Mega Satan, there's a 50% chance that you'll have to, well, you have the option to enter the void, which is where Delirium is. Not very lucky. Same thing, I don't want to use a mystery pill because it could have teleport to the Imera room. Therefore, I'll skip having the option to choose between going to Shale or the Cathedral. And I took the Polaroid, therefore I need to take the path of the Cathedral. So I'm going to teach this guy a lesson. Don't be the shell game guy in the Binding of Isaac. Ooh, that fly in the back was sucking me in. But you see that there, you can just move sideways. You don't have to run right in their face and attack. I still did that, but I strafed. Now, where is the exit? Yeah, good luck killing the enemies in order when there's all these poops flying around everywhere. Well, I've severely lacked soul hearts and regular hearts here, so I may as well just do this. Sometimes I stop using this because of all the soul hearts that are around. Because otherwise you can't capitalize on them. Sometimes I'll stop at 6 heart containers. So for this fight, it's a hard one with Azazel, since you gotta get close, but thankfully I have Little Gish who will slow down the enemies. But I can also just choose to sit back occasionally. You may notice I was just sitting around, and I could have let my Rotten Baby and my Daddy Longlegs take the fight, or do the fight rather, some of it. Now, there is a slight chance of getting the teleport, or getting the portal to the void earlier on. Each time you kill a mandatory boss from Mom and beyond, there's a higher chance of the portal appearing ahead of time. I have the key for Mega Satan. I'm not going to go fight Delirium right now. I'll make that decision later on after I kill Mega Satan. Unfortunately, this item is going to be of little to no use. Well, I guess it would give me a soul heart or dark hearts, but what it does, it's pretty much a counter synergy to what I have right now. If you have 0 hearts, then you gain flight and temporary invulnerability every so often. Obviously, I have no shortage of hearts here. Therefore, it's probably not going to trigger for the entire game. I just took it just because I have an overabundance of hearts, really. Now, the Cathedral, in my opinion, it's easier than the Womb. There's going to be a lot of mini-bosses, but everything in the Womb is bouncing around like crazy. And you get overwhelmed by monsters really quickly. But on the Cathedral, either you get a big room with a bunch of monsters, so there's plenty of space to maneuver around, or you have to fight a mini-boss. In this case, here's the mini-boss. It's 2 of them, but not a big deal. As I get myself hit. Forgot, now I'm so used to rushing. By the way, I gained a damage from Death's List, so that's huge. But I've been so used to rushing that I've kind of forgotten that I can take it a little bit slower and not get myself hurt. You also may have noticed that even though I killed the Widow with the skull over his head first, unfortunately, Death's List sometimes breaks whenever there's a monster that summons an additional creature. I'm checking for the secret room. I don't expect it to be here, but I'm going to give it a try. Nope. Can I kill them in order? Yes. And I got a range up. That's great. I really need range. That sounded sarcastic, but it's real. I need range with Azazel. 0.5 is kind of small, though. Now, I don't have to worry about a teleport pill here, but it's still better if I use it at the end in case I get amnesia. This is the faded Polaroid. Every so often you become invisible, and that makes enemies disoriented. That was close. I could have just left the room. I have the door stop here. But no harm, no foul, right? And another range up. Keep going, Death List. This room would normally be difficult, especially if you go on the inside, but just wait for them to come out. You don't have to throw yourself into the meat grinder. Nope. Ah, curse the maze. Nope. Thank you, doorstop. It's the way you normally do this room. If you don't have flight, you gotta make your movement strong because this thing's gonna suck you in. You see how it kind of sucks in like sideways? I don't go straight in. It just kind of pushed me in like a little loop. So if you run straight and then just hold straight up at this point, the pit will kind of curve you a little bit. So let me show you an example here. So it's kind of hard to simulate it though, since I do have flight. But either way. Finally, something good from a golden chest. But as you can see, I have so many hearts here. What I'm going to do actually is I'm going to fight the boss first and then grab this second in case I have a bad time. That just makes you invulnerable for a second. And if you swallow up enemies when you're using the power pill, it gives you it heals your hearts. I'm checking for the super secret room now. I don't know if it'll be here or not. No. Oh well, let's go fight the boss. It's another scenario where it's a little bit difficult with Azazel due to his really short range. But what you can do is treat it like you would those exploding flies, where you kind of strafe to the side while attacking him. And take advantage of those invincibility frames. Once I realized I got hit, I just held the brimstone on his face instead of running away. When you see the beams of light, just head for the corner. Make sure you don't head for the corner that the beams of lights are heading towards, however. Otherwise, there is a slight chance you can get hit by it. Okay, so I'm going to take the blood bag. Thank you, Curse of the Maze. It went to a different room. Oh, there's a tinted rock there. Let's grab you. Now, the only way I do delirium at this point is if I get something good at the beginning of the chest. Something that would persuade me to fight him. Because you got to get really close to delirium as Azazel, and getting close to delirium is a death wish usually. So I really don't feel comfortable doing that. This is not a great assortment of items for Azazel. I also should have picked up the faded Polaroid at this point because I don't really plan on exploring this place. Although technically I could explore this level and collect more items. Or I could just forget that and just move on. That's also an option. So the fly there, it just makes a fly, that blue fly in the distance there, circle you in the edges. and you can walk into enemies and hurt them with it. Flatstone, I believe, is a non-compatible item for Azazel. It doesn't do anything with him. Odd Mushroom gives you an HP up, as you can see there. A little bit of damage, a little bit of range. So now I'm literally full on hearts. I can't even hold anymore. I'm just using that just so I can take an extra hit if things really start to get painful. But let's go ahead. Let's do Mega Zayden now. I look pretty scary and ridiculous. So the strength card is going to give me extra range so I can get closer to Mega Satan. But it also gives me quite a bit of damage. Damage is what I have. I don't have tears up really. I have just tons of damage. So after he sinks away, he always starts spawning in enemies. The first set of enemies he spawns is not really important who you kill first, but on this wave it's best to kill Death first because he shoots scythes everywhere. And when there's two bosses on the field, that can get pretty chaotic. And when you see Mega Satan prepare to charge something, just assume it's Brimstone until you start to learn and get a better idea of which move he's going to do. Because you can actually tell from the way he's charging up what kind of move he's going to do, but it takes time to learn. Now next wave is the hardest wave because there's 4 enemies here. I usually kill the pink one first since he has super troll bombs that follow you and he attacks in multiple directions. It's such a shame. I'm making really short work of all these enemies, yet I still am terrified of Delirium at this point. But then again, if I choose to fight Delirium now, I'm not going to have the strength card. And that's giving me a pretty significant boost. I wouldn't recommend doing what I did there. The hand could have come back and hit me. So it would have been better if I just stayed in his face. So phase 2, bullet hell phase. However, see the problem with Azazel? If I get in his face and try to attack him, I'm just going to get hit by bullets. Now, I have a couple options. I could just sit around and let Daddy Longlegs and my rotten baby take the hits, or do the hits rather. Or I could just charge at him like crazy and just maximize how much health I have. But I'm going to fight him legitimately. I don't have to risk myself all the time. Now, will the void be there? The answer is yes. That's unfortunate because I don't like temptations like this when I'm on the cusp of being able to handle Delirium or not handle Delirium. But I'm going to stick to what I've been saying. There is a pretty good chance that I'll lose to Delirium. And I can't guarantee that the boss items I'll be receiving from the bosses in the void will be enough for me to withstand him. Because I only have 2 things really. I have a high amount of damage and I have a high amount of hearts. But I have to get in his face, and Delirium, the stronger your damage, the more defensive he is. Therefore, it negates one of my strongest qualities, since he has armor based upon your damage. So I know that it's too much of a risk in this situation. The only reason why you want to go the Void is if you haven't unlocked everything for Delirium. I have. So I just do it for the heck of it, and for fun, and to demonstrate how the Void Delirium is. And I also like to challenge myself. But I also know when to quit. So thank you so much for joining me on the 20th episode of The Teaching of Isaac. This was a much quicker run than usual. Usually the runs are significantly longer, but I was trying to get to the boss rush and potentially Hush. I'll have to save Hush for a different video potentially. Either way, thank you so much for watching, and please like the video if you learned something new, and subscribe if you're enjoying this series. I'll see you guys on the next one.